Hello and good evening. Welcome to the very first episode of We Mean Business, the show where three dynamic millennial women, myself, Prophet Chanel E. Martin, Minister Lindsey Walker, and Minister Bianca Modo navigate the complex world of faith, relationships, and business. We are streaming live right now on Kingdom Business Network on our YouTube channel. Shout out to everyone that has caught us live, watching live. Can you just comment and tag a friend, share with someone, and also thank you to those of you. You said you was going to bed early and you meant it and you caught the replay. We love you. But let me tell you a little bit about what We Mean Business is. Each week on Wednesday evenings at 9:30, we're going to explore stories that shape our lives, offer a blend of personal experiences, expert opinions, and interactive discussions. And we might even have a special guest or two. Whether you're looking for practical tips, heartfelt conversations, or just a space to feel connected, We Mean Business is your go-to show. So sit back, engage with us, and let's journey through the highs and lows of business, faith, and relationship. This is We Mean Business, where your story meets our story each and every week. And before we jump right on in, since this is our very first show, I would love for my co-hosts to introduce themselves. We'll start with Minister Lindsey.
Good evening, everyone. I am Minister Lindsey. I'm super excited to be here on tonight. Listen, y'all better get ready for an amazing show. We have so much in store, and just stay locked in and tuned in with us here on the show.
Hey everyone, my name is Minister Bianca Modo. I am a brand strategist and human rights consultant. I am excited. Hey KBN and all our friends and family that are joining us on tonight. And of course, this is a conversation that needs to be had, especially on kingdom culture. So I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yes, I'm ready. And I am also one of your hosts. My name is Chanel E. Martin, and I am one of the co-founders of Kingdom Business Network. And I've had the awesome privilege to help us launch the KBN.com, in which this is my dynamic faith-based media executive team as we build out a destination called the KBN.com. So just so that we're clear, We Mean Business is sponsored by the KBN.com. We'll be posting all of the replays and episode recaps on the KBN.com. So make sure you head over there to join the conversation. All right, y'all. I think we're ready.
I'm ready.
Y'all ready? Let us know in the comments if y'all are ready. And we will have an opportunity for you to ask us questions because this is live, okay? This is live. All right, so y'all, we got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
So, Lindsey, something just happened that I feel like set back Black Christian entrepreneurs. Let me just say female Black entrepreneurs nationwide, globally. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. Oh my gosh, you are so right. We were talking about this offline, you guys, and just a dynamic. So we're talking about Fearless Fund, right? And if you don't know what Fearless Fund is, it's an amazing nonprofit organization and grant funding hub by venture capitalist Arian Simone, who is a dear colleague, friend, and mentor of mine. And this Kate course retainers, right? This court case initially got started back in, I want to say August, where there was a gentleman who had a problem with a Black funded, specifically for women, organization like the Fearless Fund. And so he filed a motion with the courts that it should not happen, that it was discriminatory. Right. And now we just got the verdict back that they ruled in his favor. And it's such a setback because there are so many Black women in business. We make up the majority.
Yeah.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, like we make up the majority of entrepreneurs. And now we don't have a space of our own to get funding. Because honestly, and I remember when Arian started this, but honestly, what other organizations are specifically meant for us as Black women, as Black leaders, as Black founders?
Can I interject there? Because I understand this. This is near and dear to my heart. I started business as a technology founder, and we worked really hard to get funding. And I remember when we were pitching Myavana, we got hit with all kind of questions and policies and procedures, and there were so many discrepancies and hoops that I felt like we had to jump through. And y'all are not going to believe the crazy stuff they said to us. I remember as we pitched one of our not Black counterparts, when we talked about the Black hair industry being like this $10 billion industry, this was 12 years ago. They were like, oh, Black women spend money on hair? Like, can they even afford? Like, they were so disconnected with the needs of Black women. And so it took Black women early investing into us. Shout out to Christine. She was one of our early investors, a Black woman. Her daughter just graduated from Spelman.
Yes.
So if you're watching us, I'm so proud of, the mom that you have. And I want to thank you because you gave us one of our first investments that we got as an angel investor, and you are a Black woman. And that's why we have to have these conversations. And I really feel like, when you've never really had to struggle for real, and you've never been judged based off of your race, and people have measured you against what they see on TV, on Love and Hip Hop, you can't possibly understand that we are starting so far behind. And so funds like the Fearless Fund actually close the gap for us and give us a fair chance. So I don't know, that I wanted to give my 2 cents.
Absolutely. And, I was really hopeful. We talked about this again offline, but I was hopeful when, we found out that Hello Alice, which is another funding for Black entrepreneurs, they won their court case recently. So I think everyone was thinking, this Fearless Fund they're going to win this thing. And, it was really devastating. And the facts are there's about $250 billion that have been invested in our white counterparts in their businesses, right, over the years. And for a fund to come along that has invested about $25 million, this is what you guys are you have an issue with, Black women getting $25 million versus the $250 billion, like Chanel said, with our white counterparts. What's the real issue?
What's the real issue?
Listen, we're not holding anything back.
No, we're not holding anything back.
So the real issue, as I think about just the dynamics and the ways of the world and where we're going, the real issue is you are seeing the world seeing Black women rise at a rate like never before. We have purchasing power. We have buy-ins. We're able to do so much more than like our ancestors could have dreamed of. And here it is, right? You're now taking things like a fund that was created for us, and you're saying that it's discriminatory and that we can't have it because you're upset that we're winning, because you're upset at, I remember when Arian created Fearless Fund. She's always been such an advocate for women of color, for women in business, for those who have a dream to really be able to go after it. And we all know as business owners how important funding is. And we don't get a lot of funding. We don't get a lot of opportunity. So here comes Fearless Fund, and they're thriving. They're doing deals with Tory Burch Foundation and MasterCard and all of these amazing places. And now that you see the notoriety, now that you see what it's getting, now that you see what it's giving,
it's fear-based. And I've experienced that firsthand. Y'all, if you go on my social media posts right now, If you go on my social media posts right now, I have a post. It is pinned. It just hit over 1 million plays, and I pan an image of me and my 4 beautiful, amazing kids, and I share an experience that happens to me all the time. Okay, it is where people that don't look like me are questioning, are these my kids? How could I have these kids? Oh my, can you afford these children? I get the craziest thing just because I'm a well put together, articulate Black woman. I don't look downtrodden. I don't look like anything's wrong with me. So if you go and scroll, and I was so shocked, this shows me that I'm still in America.
With all the pain.
With all of
America. That there are people who still are not happy for me. And if you go and scroll that post, I'm seeing the most racist comments. I'm being called an N-word, the most notorious comments.
Wait, somebody called you an N-word?
Yeah. I got called that quite a few times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been called every derogatory term. I'm on welfare. All of my kids got different daddies. The reason why my husband Chris was not in the reels because he left to go get milk and never came back. We live in Austin. I mean, the stuff.
People are nuts.
But I'm gonna tell you. So look, we said we wasn't holding nothing back. I go click the profile picture.
It was Dusty.
It was white men.
Oh,
of course,
white men. I, for the life of me, can't understand how Black women thriving and successful. This isn't all white men, so I'm not blanketing this statement. But how I disrupted this white man's peace. Multiple. I'm gonna go. It was one super racist comment that got 4,000 hearts.
Oh wow.
Yes. This lends itself to a bigger picture. If you go and scroll on my page, you'll find that I'm a master's degree chemical engineer. If you go on my page, you'll find that I have patents and trademarks. If you go on my page, you'll find that I'm a married woman. And when we have funds like this, it evens the playing field because now we're recognized. We're automatically disqualified just by showing up. Right. So. Y'all.
I think I hide a little. Get out the kitchen if you can't cook.
So of course this is We Mean Business, and we're talking all things business, faith, relationship. Look, nothing is on the table. Okay, we are keeping it as integrally real as we possibly can. But I want to move on to a different topic, guys. Ooh, what a year, what a year, what a year.
Talk about it.
Oh my God.
Okay, y'all, it has been, I want to say, the wildest 6 months. Like, would y'all agree? It has been a wild 6 months. Can we do a quick little rundown?
Yeah, let's do
it. Okay, so each one of us is going to give a what done happened over these past 6 months. I'm going to start with all the prophetic voices, including myself. The Lord told me that this was going to be a year of exposure. Yeah. Now, when you get a word like that, you're not exactly sure how it's going to manifest. I think a lot of us church folks, we was like, "Ooh, everybody that's sinning is going to be exposed." But baby, listen,
oh my God,
the exposure was real. So I'm going to start by saying that to the prophets and everybody with an ear to heaven told us to buckle our seatbelts. But baby, I'm barely in the car. Okay, who want to go? Like, what was the first 6 months shocker for either one of y'all?
Man, I want to go, and I think we were gonna hold it, but let's just go ahead and put it on the table because it's in my realm of topics. Did it?
Oh God. Oh Lord.
Now, here's my thing. All right. There were so many people. And specifically Black men, because these are conversations that I was having with certain Black men, things that I saw online, that when Cassie came out and she said he did XYZ and this to me, and you already know what happened. Well, why is this the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, she with a white man, and the white man trying to bring the Black man down, and this is just fake news, and they just trying to tear down the Black man. Y'all, it didn't even take. That was what, the beginning of the year?
That was the beginning.
And then, like not too long ago, they shut up all the Team Diddy when they pulled out the video.
The video, yeah. Oh my gosh. And I couldn't even fully like watch that video because for me it was it was a lot. But I am glad that they came out with that footage. Whoever was holding it, they were holding it until they couldn't hold it anymore. But I'm glad that they came out with it because unfortunately women are not believed first. Right? Like they can never just take our word. It has to be, I think we've talked about this offline. It has to be the Me Too movement with a plethora of women coming together and saying this happened before someone can believe what's going on. But that footage shut everybody up. And I remember Slim Thug specifically made a video and he apologized to Cassie because he
should.
Right,
where the rest of y'all? Where the rest of the videos?
Exactly. Where's everyone else? So he apologized to her because he was like, I didn't expect this, so on and so forth. And so it's just, I'm glad that they came out with it, but it's like, we want to talk about exposure, like, and there's some other people too that, I don't know if we'll get to it tonight, but it's some other people that's just like, okay, enough is enough. But I am glad, and what y'all say as well, that these things are coming to light because they need to be talked about.
Absolutely.
They definitely need to be talked about. And I don't even know if I'm going to be as generic as I possibly can, but I definitely have been a victim of sexual harassment by very powerful people in the entertainment industry. And when I went to seek legal counsel, because this is typically the first thing, like a woman is like shocked, like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Then you're like questioning, like, do I want to lose this opportunity? Right? Then it's like, how dare they do this to me? So then you go and you seek legal representative. And I thank God for one of my really good friends for her giving me the truth. She said, Chanel, I understand. And if you want to pursue this, I understand. She said, but I'm going to tell you, if you do, they're going to dig up every little bit and they're going to work their hardest to discredit you. She said, what you can do is if you feel called to this movement, see if you can find other women that have gone through the same things so that you guys can collectively join a lawsuit. So I want to explain this for those of you who are like, these people popped up out of nowhere. What happens is when one person decides that they're going to be the martyr, that they're going to be the person to expose this person, what happens is they're bringing other people into the case. These people have been living with this harassment, this abuse for God knows how long, because society automatically says that you want people's money, you want to come up, and so you are forced to silence yourself, and the perpetrator gets to perpetrate over and over and over based off the fact that they know that if you tell, it's going to be you against the world, and the world doesn't believe Black women.
That part. I was waiting for someone to say it. Then you said women, and I was like, yeah, it's women, but it's also Black women, and people don't really understand what happens, especially in the industry, right? Like I am thrilled that things are getting exposed, baby. I've been sitting back, minding my business. The moment the Lord said he was exposing folks, I was like, let me sit back. But people don't really understand that dynamic and what it looks like dealing with trauma and especially for years, right? We all had some type of experience, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that have had some type of experience, whether in college, whether at a younger age, whether at your job, and something happened and you just felt like you couldn't say anything, or maybe you did say something and it was brushed under the table. Some people might have got paid off. Like, you never know what happens. But I think what makes me so mad about this situation is that as soon as the video came, like you said, people were shut up. But then people weren't shut up. Now there's all these people who have experienced, who saw it in person, who said this has been going on, or this was going on. When he met her in college, this was a thing, right? And so I think that's what makes me mad, that there's too many people. There's a lot of y'all that are sitting right next to some ditties or that are in the circle with some ditties. Exactly. And it needs to be, and you don't even know. and you are associating yourself with these people, and because they can take you, they've got influence, and they can take you to the next level, and they can get you in all the VIP parties. Like we talk about selling souls. Like it's more than just, you doing something for some money. What have you shut up on? Right? Like what have you just sat back and was like, I'm not gonna say anything. So yes, I think that was my big thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what made me mad. I was like, y'all coming out the woodworks now, everybody got a story, but when she put it out there, where were you people with these stories? So
where were you people with these stories? All right, so we can't touch on one without touching on the other. Okay, so we talked about the music industry. I want to touch on, there has been a lot of chatter around bishops and pastors in ministry and in church with I was shocked when the allegations came out against our beloved Bishop TD Jakes. Like I remember me and Lindsey, we were going down a rabbit hole like, this cannot be true.
Yeah, we went down an entire rabbit hole.
And it's just like, it's at what point do you, it's like people have their humanity, right? And we understand that those of us who operate in ministry, who are called, we have our humanity. And then you also have like, okay, did you really do it? Did you not do it? And then you also have people just flat out lying, really trying to disrupt our faith and bring attacks against leaders. And so it's like, seeing a lot of this stuff become uncovered. Now, I have no which way hearsay or that to say if anything happened or if those allegations were true with Bishop TD Jakes. I will tell you this, that I definitely, at the time that those things were being brought to light, those allegations, I prayed. I think that's where a lot of us believers make the mistake. We're so quick to hear, see on certain shows or blogs, and then we write think pieces, and then we're sharing, we're screenshotting, we're giving our opinions, talking about he did it, she did it, they are false, the fill in the blank, right? And y'all, half of them ain't got no platform to stand on, and ain't got no community, ain't got no followers, but feel so
it's like you're attaching yourself to whatever is going on. You've got to make yourself a part of that trend.
Because they don't have anything else going on.
Absolutely.
And I will say that that's the flip side. It's if these things that have been coming out, and Bishop TD Jakes wasn't the only one. He's just one of the most notable. We could talk about Pastor Jamal Bryant and his recent proposal in a bit, and how there's been chatter around that. But I will say this: if you find that a leader and someone that you respect in ministry, if you hear something, why don't you pray about it before you post about it?
Oh, say that.
Pray about it before you post about it. I'm going to tell you what I'm sick of, Lynn. I am sick of people building clout or attempting to build clout, credibility, and whole ministries and businesses exposing or persecuting other people. And them same people that had think pieces, what's going on with your ministry now?
Yeah. So it's like an equation, right? If I see that Bishop Jakes is being talked about, and then I go and I start talking about Bishop Jakes, then all of a sudden people are going to like, they're going to comment, they're going to share, they're going to follow me. And then all of a sudden I become consumed with the idea of going viral again and again and again. And I become consumed with the idea of gaining influence, but I am not going about it the right way. That's how many people that are writing all of these think pieces and all these things, you have all these thoughts about this one person, but you weren't thinking that when you bought their book, you weren't thinking that when you tuned into a sermon, you weren't thinking that when you showed up at their church. But let's go here real quick, and I'm gonna drop it. If you were given the access to them like you wanted to, you wouldn't be making the think pieces in the first place.
Half these people are salty because they still got the same 5 people following them, and it's their mama, their auntie, their best friend, and their dog.
Yes.
Like, let's be real.
Be clear.
Because if you was really doing, And I'm not talking about, let's be clear, I'm not talking about that you should ever be hush-hush or you should accept anything other than righteousness and holiness. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying something is if your ministry or your calling is based on belittling, derailing,
and
exposing people, I need you to rethink the call of God. Because perhaps I want to pose this question. Perhaps God shows you people because you're really an intercessor for influential leaders and pastors. And God is revealing this to you simply because that's the call in your life, to pray and to cover. And I will say this, and my pastor, Dr. Hart Ramsey, he says this, he talked about reaping and sowing, and from a perspective of what you give, you receive. So the honor you give, the honor you receive, right? So if you launch your ministry or your business being mean, hateful, exposing people, I could probably almost pinpoint sooner than later, it's gonna come back around to you. And that was one of the biggest lessons that God taught me, guys, as I started stepping into ministry. He said this to me. He said, Chanel, don't put your mouth on my chosen, my touch yet not my anointed and appointed ones. And I'm just gonna leave y'all on that.
Listen, that is so. I want. We got other stuff that we're gonna cover in a second, but I want to take this moment and just say, listen, heed the words that she just said. Heed the words that Prophet Chanel just said, because it is, you can see the hour that we're in. You can see the season that we're in. It is very important that you mind your mouth, that you guard your mouth in this season, because you don't know how things are going to begin to show up. We are not perfect, right? Exactly. We're not perfect leaders. We're not perfect people. We all have made mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you do not steward other people's mistakes well, because we're called to steward all things well.
Ooh,
if you don't steward other people's mistakes well, what happens when you make a mistake and you need someone to show you grace and you need someone to cover you? So be mindful. Like, I know it is, you can talk about it, but like, even when we talk about things amongst ourselves, we talk about it from the angle of gaining wisdom, gleaning wisdom, not kicking off of somebody's downfall,
Absolutely
not kicking off of, oh, did you see what happened? And that's what they get. That's not, if you're a believer and you're tuning in and you're watching, that's not the heart posture that we're called to have. Right. And so be mindful. I just felt led to say that we can.
Well, I just wanted to just put that in there because you guys have touched it, and I'm just gonna say the exact words. I just hope that there are no skeletons in your closet. And that's it. That's what I'm gonna leave on that one. I just pray that there are no skeletons. If you have an exposing ministry, I would just suggest that closet is clean and squeaky clean. That's all I got.
That's the whole PSA. All right, look, this leads me. We have to talk about this, guys, and let us know in the comments where you are tuning in from. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, drop it in the comments and let us know. Shout out to those of you that are watching us across our YouTube and Facebook pages. We're so grateful that you had the chance to hang out with us on We Mean Business Live. All right, y'all. So I'm going to be honest. I am not a politics person, so I cannot give any nitty gritty. This is just flat out what I've been seeing. Y'all, Donald Trump.
Why did I know this was coming?
I know.
He's a convicted felon now.
He's a convicted felon.
And he's running for president.
And he's running for president. Sometimes you just gotta say the facts out loud just to make sure.
The ghetto.
The ghetto.
That means all of the black men that's in prison right now that are convicted felons, are we finna let them run for president? Can they run for president?
Who gonna answer that question?
I'm trying to understand. Is this an equal
What's the dynamics?
Like, are the rules changing because Mr. Donald Trump?
Oh my gosh!
Like, we even gotta go. I just had to say that, and I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm gonna go on record and say, y'all, I think he gonna win.
Oh my gosh!
I do. I hate it Yeah. Let me.
She dropped this one on us.
I pray that I am wrong. I'll never forget when he won, and I was sitting in our condo on our couch, and I was just rooting for Hillary. And my mama said, Donald Trump gonna win. I was like, I rebuke you. No, he is not.
I don't know.
How do you know he's gonna?
Oh yeah.
And she was like, oh, God told me. I asked.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna say I asked. I'm scared for the answer. I'm just going by how crazy our world is, and it would just be like America for Donald Trump.
It absolutely would.
But okay, since we're on the topic of Donald Trump, I don't know if y'all saw this. We did not discuss this, but did y'all see what Sexy Red done did?
No, tell us.
No.
Okay, so Sexy Red was seen performing with a big MAGA hat.
Oh wow.
Is that indicating her support for Donald Trump?
Are we shifting this from Trump to Sexy Red?
Well, I think we can go to Sexy Red, but I think this lends itself to a bigger conversation. Yes. So let me bring this back to the faith-based perspective.
Yeah.
Typically, Christians and evangelicals, Christians have voted Republican.
Yeah.
Due to just overall beliefs as far as gay rights, as far as policies on abortion,
correct,
financial reasons. If you were probably to take a peek into most of your, I'm going to say Black wealthy Christian elites, yes. They probably voted Republican.
Oh, that makes the people mad.
It does make the people mad just because they feel more in alignment with the Republican Party. And then you have the Democrat, which I would say a lot of us were told that we had to be Democrats. I feel like I was told. I was told that I had to be a Democrat because Democrats, they are for the people and
they're for us.
They're for us. Democrats are for us, so they're going to fight for us. But they also fight for everybody.
Yeah.
And some of who they fight for are not in alignment with biblically based values and principles. And so that leaves, I feel like, the millennial believer, who we are free thinkers, right? We're not just doing something because our mama and daddy told us to do. We're faced with the issue of like, okay, do I vote for racist Trump? I mean, I understand some of the party policies I'm in alignment with, but like, look who y'all got. Y'all couldn't find nobody else. Or do I vote for am I going to vote Democratic? I was very happy when Barack Obama became president. We went to his inauguration, y'all. Like I chartered a whole group, the African American Student Union at Georgia Tech, and we went out to Virginia. And we were out there like anyways, I just think about the stuff I used to do. Like we were there, and I remember during the election, my husband Chris was producing. They played "My President Is Black," and we was like, I remember that. We were so happy, and because it was finally a president that looked like us.
Right.
But then after you begin to examine some of the policies, some of the things that he said he would do, he didn't do, he was for, wasn't for. It's like, which do you go with? Do you go with, okay, it's a man that looked like us, we're so happy, but some of his beliefs do not align with the Christian faith? Or do we go with a stark racist, but some of their beliefs are in alignment? I want to open that up. I know politics is a sticky subject, so y'all just speak as much as you want to say. But go ahead.
So I'm a part of a bipartisan organization. It's a 75-year-old organization that I sit on the board of here in Atlanta. And so these conversations are pretty standard for us. We're talking about all things from all sides globally, right? That's the whole purpose, is to inform the public so that they can make their own decisions about what's going on, right? And so I'm just gonna, I don't know, y'all know we stirring the pot a little bit. I'm just gonna stir the pot a little bit.
Stir the pot.
I don't hate Trump. I think that Trump is an entertainer.
That's what I think too.
I don't think he's racist. I think that Trump knows how to get the people going. Now, does it make it right for the things that he says, that because of course he's also not dumb.
Right.
As much as we like to say, oh, he's an idiot, and this no, you don't make that much money and get where you are by being an idiot, right? I think he knows that certain things are going to incite a riot, but he also knows that it's going to incite conversation. And the thing about Trump is his policies, it's so crazy. His policies, we're in alignment, like with what you said, especially with business owners, small business owners, what he wants to do. You know, he got us our funds when we was at the house, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real, like we're having a real conversation. He got us our funds. Y'all remember that?
We just lost some followers just now. We just lost some followers. Oh, you give Trump any credit?
Look,
they about to put a clip.
That's okay. I'm with it. That's okay. I'm okay. Look, I have thick skin. I'm with it. But yes, so it's one of those. This is making that decision for you, not going by what we were told when we were children. But let me say this: I've actually been having a lot of conversations. So not just millennials, but the next generation up. You know, with like our people who are like our parents' age, who are honest, y'all. They're telling me, they're like, well, I don't know if I'm Democratic anymore, because they have realized that they're not in alignment with these same policies, these same things that we're talking about, right? And so they're trying to, it's like backpedaling a little bit. They're trying to fix it. Like they're trying to tell us, okay, you know, maybe they're straddling the fence. There's a lot. I'm telling you, I have intel, y'all. I can't put no names out there. I have intel, but they are straddling the fence. Wow. Especially at the local and state level, because that's where it starts, right? When we're talking about politics, when we're talking about policies, it starts at the local and that state level. So when you're putting these people into office, you got to think about the end result of what's going to happen. If you're putting people in office who are for Trump, what do you think is going to happen? You know, we can talk about fixing, don't get me started, you know, the vote fixing and all of these different things. However, these are the facts that this is what it is. If you guys are not voting, if you're not getting out there, if you're not learning about these policies and your representatives and what they're going to push, then by the time we get to, you know, presidency,
it's too like you're just worried about the president.
You got to pick the lesser evil.
So I want to go back to Trump. You said something about Trump and that he's not dumb. And I read this book, and I'm probably going to misquote it. It was this book about power. I wanted to understand power and how to walk in power from a secular place, not the power of the Lord. I wanted to understand. And the author said that someone interviewed Trump, and they asked him, how do you keep your cool with all these storms and chaos all around you? And y'all want to know what Trump said to them? He said, I am the storm.
That part.
Yeah.
He said, I am the storm. And I'm going to tell you what that did for me. When I heard that, I said, my God. Yeah. This man is creating. He said he's creating. You think that he's losing grip. And he is like, no, I created all of this chaos so that I could be in the midst of it and have control. He is controlled chaos. And that really changed my thought, my frame of mind and my thought. And of course, you know, God is not the author of confusion. So I'm not trying to be in no chaos and breathe the storm or anything, but it caused me to reflect on how am I showing up? Do I have control of my atmosphere? What is it that I can do in my own strength and in my own power, or with the power of the Holy Spirit, right? Because we still got Holy Spirit. And I just wanted to make that point, because I'm going to tell you what, a lot of us don't really know what's going on in our government. We don't really know what's going on in our policies. If someone say vote left, you're gonna vote left. If someone say vote right, you're gonna vote right. If someone say jump up and down, we're gonna jump up and down. I typically was one of them. And so I will say that I am not for any party. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. I am for the Lord, and I will vote. Look, I said I'm gonna
vote for the Lord.
I will vote as the Lord tells me.
That
So
part.
I will pray and ask Holy Spirit to reveal to me who are the right candidates, and that is for any election that I vote in. It is not. I'm not blindly trusting nothing just because they got a D or an R on their badge. I think we are so past that, and things are so much more complicated. But I want to go back to Sexy Red. Y'all didn't think I was gonna let that?
No.
Bow, 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 bow,
Oh,
bow. Hey.
Shout out to Sexy Red from St. Louis. So shout out.
Sexy Red from St. Louis.
She is.
She is.
Why do y'all think she did that?
The same the same exact. So I've been seeing her a lot.
Yeah.
Just globally. Like
Yeah.
she and she's strategic. Now her team, whoever her team is,
I was just about to touch on that.
they own it because maybe she's in every genre of music.
Did you see her in the country?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. So she is showing up because at this point, especially in entertainment industry and the music industry, we know how to show up.
It is a show, y'all. I feel like the angels are in heaven with popcorn, with heavenly popcorn. Like, oh, you see that?
Yes.
Gabriel, like, man, my child. You know, Michael is like, oh my goodness,
My
like,
children. Lord is like my children.
The Lord is like my children. And Jesus is like, this is what I died for. And Holy Spirit is like, I tried to tell him. Like, it's like all of this happening.
Oh my God.
Did y'all just see that play out? I just saw that play out.
Listen, but you're so right. But I want to go back to what you were saying real quick. I think that people, and I'm not just saying this because she's from St. Louis, but I feel like people get caught up in like what they read and the surface level of what you see, the surface level of what you read, forgetting that this woman has an entire machine now behind her, right? She's built up a name. She's built up influence. I would even venture to say, much like Trump, she very well is an entertainer, as we see on stage, but also the mindset of an entertainer is always, what can I do? How can I shake things up?
Yep.
How can I get the most attention, right? That's just like, real quick, this ties in. Glorilla, she did that interview. I can't remember if it was CNN because I asked her about politics, and she.
Oh, now I gotta go look it up.
And she said, at the end of the day gonna end, and like that was her response. So I say that to say, understanding that everyone is not called to the political arena, right? Everyone's not called to that, but people are called to what's going to shake things up in their favor.
Yes.
Right. And I feel like while we're on this topic, like I feel like it's like we can learn something from all of these instances that we've talked about, from all these spaces that we've talked about. And that is, what are you doing in your business? What are you doing to shake things up?
You know,
what's your show up strategy?
And you know what? That's actually biblical. And I'm gonna tell you how it's biblical. Because the Lord commands us to be bold and courageous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And no, look, we didn't make the saints mad, okay?
We love y'all.
We love y'all.
They knew. They knew what was gonna happen.
We said nothing was off the table.
Nothing.
But I think that sometimes as believers, we play it so safe.
Yeah.
And we're so afraid to go against the grain. We're so afraid to step out. And it's crazy because I feel like sometimes as Christians, we the scariest demographic of people.
Very true.
When God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. And a New Living Translation version says, and self-discipline. And so it's like we have all of these authority, power, right? The ability, like we can trample on snakes and scorpions, like we walk in victory, right? Like everything is on our side, and we just be like, well, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. Oh no, I can't align myself with that person because they this or that. And it's just like, what if God called you to be a disruptor?
Yeah.
What if God called you to go into that place because you were not afraid to say, you know what, I'm at the Sexy Red concert, but I'm going to be there because I'm going to be praying for her. It's not that you are necessarily approving of someone's behavior, but how do you know what they're doing if you're not even in those spaces? And some of us are so self-righteous. We are so disconnected with culture and with life, and we're wondering why we're not moving ahead. And you stuck in 2002, and we don't even live in the same, we don't even have the same world. 2019 pre-pandemic is not the same world that we live in 2024. And so I believe that we need to be strong enough and bold enough as Christians to pray those bold prayers. Like, God, where send me, Lord. Who shall I send? You can send me, right? What if God wants to send you to a place in a space, but when you go, it's gonna look crazy? I'll never forget, guys, and I have so many instances, but I remember I did a brief stint on a radio. I had a radio show in Atlanta and had a brief stint. And before they had me as a regular, they brought me in. It was not a Christian radio station at all. It was a secular radio station.
Oh no, you did secular? Oh,
I know. Oh my gosh.
It was,
but they called me because of my book, 31 Prayers for Spiritual Wealth. And it was so crazy because they had a segment where people were calling in asking for prayer. Oh. Like this was so long. This was 2018. They were calling in, and I was praying live on a secular radio station during the morning show for these businesses. And they brought me on several times as a guest. And I'm so grateful that I wasn't too self-righteous, right? Because I ended up getting offered a job at the radio station, and they were fully aware of who I was. And so I remember when they offered me the job, and at this point, I'm on my way to becoming ordained prophet. I don't think I was ordained just yet, but I was in training. I was a prophet in training. And I had a meeting with my pastor. Shout out to Pastor LeBrian Friend of Belong. He was a former pastor of mine. And I met with him, and I was so nervous. And I went to him and I asked him, I said, is this okay? Because I just was like, can I do this? Can I go be at a secular station? And I remember my pastor saying, I believe this is the Lord for you.
Part.
Ooh, that's good.
And I'm so glad that he didn't discourage me out of ignorance or out of religiosity. And he allowed me to step into purpose. And y'all, the short time I was there is how we have this show. I learned so much. If y'all sit in Kingdom Business Network and attended prophetic planning, I got that whole model. I helped to build Kingdom Business Network on Clubhouse in the middle of the pandemic using the model and the structure that I learned at that radio station. And so there's some things that God is going to allow the world to teach you. But if you are just like, it got to be prophetess, bishop, pastor, whoever, evangelist, so teaching you, you're gonna miss out. Because can I go there? Because oftentimes your pastor, bishop, preacher, teacher, evangelist is broke. Ain't got no business. Still trying to figure out life. And you want to go get from somebody who doesn't have anything, no wisdom to give you. They can pray for you, and you keep them in that place of posture of prayer for you. But there is some lessons the Lord is going to send you out into the world to learn. Now, it's your responsibility to stay prayed up. It's your responsibility to not compromise your integrity and your values and your morals, right? But it's also your responsibility to listen and learn. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I mean,
I know, right? Look, she went there.
Yes, definitely went there. Absolutely. And I think about this all the time, especially as we've said, it's just so much going on in the world. But if we as believers are so busy turning up our noses at what's going on, who's going to infiltrate the system? Who's going to disrupt the system? Who's going to be the one that says, you know what? Lord, send me in this space, in this place, so that I can show them what Christ looks like. So I can show them how to operate in integrity. So I can be the one to pray for the person. We were just looking at Orlando Brown.
Yeah.
We were just looking at a clip of Orlando Brown. Y'all know and love him. Childhood star. He was Tiger on Major Pain, all of that. He has a clip out there that his wife shared on Instagram, and he's singing I think he may have just even made that song up, or like it was a song. I'll call it his heart song.
Yeah, it
right?
sounded like a prophetic song.
Yeah, he's singing to the Lord prophetically, and it touched me so. And I sent it to Prophet Chanel, and a lot of people were just in the comments saying, you're anointed. We're praying for you.
Absolutely.
But what would it look like if we had just taken some of his previous clips and previous notions and just written him off, right? So God, I would venture to say that God is not looking for the brown nosers, the prideful, those that think that they know it all because they went to all 15 years of vacation Bible school. He's looking for hearts. If you just have a heart and you're prepared and you want to be used by God, if it could be in entertainment, it could be in whatever plethora of system or industry, and God's like, that's who I'm looking for. It doesn't matter if you start out secular, because when you have Christ on the inside of you,
he goes with you wherever you go, wherever that you're going in.
It's gonna rub off. It reminds me of I had a speaking engagement again. Like God, I think God uses all of us in and out of secular spaces. And I had to give a talk on showing up in your brand. And I remember thinking like, okay, well, this is not a faith-based space. This was years ago. So I kind of took everything out. I asked for wisdom from God, let me say that, on how to prepare a session such that you felt God, but I didn't have to say God, because God is in me, right? And I basically had the opportunity to give them the word of the Lord, but without Lord Jesus, because that would have turned people away. Okay. So I do my session, and I remember afterwards, so many people came up to me and they were like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you did, but it was just so amazing. I feel like I need to connect to you. It was like so magnetic. And I chuckled. I said, that was nothing but Holy Spirit that was all in that. And God is allowing a lot of us, so I love Marketplace Ministry, is allowing a lot of us. We don't have to go in waving the Jesus flag, the God flag, because when people see you, they should see Jesus. When people see you, they should see God. Like, you are their light. And then you can begin to have those conversations with them and show them by example who Christ is. Because a lot of them have been hurt by people in ministry and or have been taught incorrect wisdom and knowledge. And so they're already kind of like, but when you show up as the light, then it's like a sneak attack. So, all right, guys. Well, we're kind of coming to the end. I did see some comments on our YouTube channel. If you giving comments,
y'all come back now. Don't play.
On our Kingdom, I can only see our Kingdom Business Network comments. So I want to talk to Miss Cynthia Sin. She has probably gone. She said she was done because the Lord gave her discernment. Because we are all Trump supporters.
Wait.
I summarized all 4 of the comments. And I just want to say to you, Cynthia, I pray that you will use your discernment and pray and ask God if this is entertainment for you, and that you will come back and visit us. I have never said I was a Trump supporter. I said
no one said that.
I said I'm for the Lord. Okay, I'm for the Lord. I have neither for.
I said I don't hate Trump. That's what
you just said you don't hate Trump.
That's what I said.
And I didn't say anything.
See, look, y'all.
I want to make that statement clear. Nobody on here said that we were Trump supporters. Okay, so I need to address that. We are for. We can talk about the person, and you don't have to hate someone to disagree with them.
Hold on, I want to say something on there real quick, and it's probably gonna make you a little bit even more mad. But listen here, Jesus loves Trump too.
They don't want to hear this.
Drop. Okay, all right. So, I have some more.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I have some more. Okay, so
we still love you, Cynthia. Come back.
We do. Please come back. Come back. Again, we said this is conversations. Nothing is off the table.
Yes.
And hopefully you are entertained and you'll realize that this is all love, and we value each and every one.
Right.
All right. So we have Cherie said, yes, the kingdom is not Democrat nor Republican. Okay, so Nicholas brought up a good point. He said, just left a conference for HBCU student leaders. Many are females who disclose cases of being sexually abused. What should we do for students who want to heal by disclosing, but the offender is family? How do we create a new support system for them so that they feel safe again, especially if they are getting most of their support from those who abuse them? So, Nicholas, I wanted to acknowledge your comment. We don't have enough time.
Oh my goodness.
We gotta touch on that.
Yeah, we'll touch on that on a future episode. But I want to thank you for even recognizing that. Thank you for your leadership in the space, and just even being a sounding board to hear, just to hear what these women are saying, because a lot of times they feel not heard. And so I appreciate that. And then I think that was Bernicia said, drop the mic, Lindsey. I think I don't have anything else. We're coming to an end. If you guys, I'm gonna just give some announcements, and we'll do like some closing statements. So first of all, thank you so much for watching our very first launch episode of We Mean Business. Now, please do us a favor. If you are not subscribed to Kingdom Business Network on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. We're going to be back here every single Wednesday at 9:30. So can you make a commitment to show up, share this episode with a friend and with a family member? I think it's going to be fun. If you also have show topic ideas, you can comment them below. We are going to go back and read all of the comments, because we would love to talk about a trending topic that is important to you. And also, listen, we're doing this on behalf of the KBN.com, and we have a launch party that is coming up on July 20th. And I feel like we'll probably do something with We Mean Business Live there. And we want you to come and join us. The KBN.com is our nonpartisan media platform where we're going to be having real raw conversations. There are currently contributors that are writing on there right now, so you can go and read some of the stories, but you can also get your ticket and celebrate the launch with us at KBN.club/launch party. So with that being said, I would love for any final remarks. I'll start with Lindsey concerning, just today's episode as we round out.
Well, I think that this episode was absolutely phenomenal. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have, and I can't wait to see y'all next week.
This was fun. I'm so glad that we decided to do this. And y'all know y'all can't hurt my feelings. We were made for this. We were made for this. But we love it. Like, thank you for interacting with us. Like we said, nothing is off the table. So please, if you have some topics that you want to talk about, and I would love to see you in Atlanta on July 20th. Okay, I don't think we put the date in there, but July 20th.
Yes, make sure y'all join
it's a Saturday. So come have brunch with us. Right. We're gonna have fun. Yes. We got some surprise guests and honorees. Like she didn't plan it up. It is going to be a fun time. Yes, we're gonna have fun. We got some people coming. So just wanted to throw that in there.
And in addition to that, if you want to advertise into KBN.com, you can buy a VIP ticket, and it comes with an ad spot. So that's a way to get more exposure, because of course this is We Mean Business. So we are all about business and supporting businesses, especially faith-based kingdom entrepreneur businesses. So thank you so much for tuning into our very first episode of We Mean Business with Lindsey, Bianca, and myself. And tune in next week on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.